The 1970s were a wild decade for cinema, with filmmakers pushing boundaries and creating some of the most iconic movies in history. While the decade is known for its experimental flair, not every film stands the test of time. But don't worry, here are a few gems from the 70s that are definitely worth your time. Alan is in peak neurotic mode as Alvy, a stand-up comedian lamenting his breakup with Annie, Diane Keaton, a singer-photographer who counters his dim outlook on everything with effervescent joy. Of course, their relationship is doomed, and yet, watching Alan analyze the breakup while speaking directly to the camera is pure fun. So much more than a film about the Vietnam War, Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse. Now follows Captain Willard, Martin Sheen, who is sent on a secret mission into Cambodia to relieve rogue army colonel of his command, as he has reportedly gone mad. The film's infamously troubled production included Sheen having a heart attack, Coppola having a breakdown, and a shooting schedule that ballooned from 6 weeks to 16 months. Enjoy Blazing Saddles while you can. Mel Brooks' spoof of American westerns is under constant criticism by some for its politically incorrect humor, who call it racially insensitive. Those critics, however, miss the point of the irreverent humor as a critique of the absurdity of hate, and even Whoopi Goldberg has defended the film from racism accusations. Director Francis Ford Coppola has 4 films on our list, with The Conversation the most understated of the group. As a surveillance expert whose curiosity entangles him in a murder conspiracy, Gene Hackman gives arguably his best performance ever here, in a film that was nominated for 3 Oscars. It's amazing to consider Coppola made a slow-boil paranoia film like this between the first 2 Godfather movies. The winner of 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, The Deer Hunter follows 3 friends, all steelworkers from Pennsylvania who serve in the Vietnam War. The emotionally draining film is led by powerhouse performances from Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, and Meryl Streep. Director Michael Cimino's triumph at the Oscars was short-lived, as his next film, Heaven's Gate, was one of the biggest flops in cinematic history, and his career never recovered. Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather hasn't lost a bit of its luster, more than 5 decades after its release. The epic tale of the Corleone mafia family is perfect in nearly every aspect, including the cast performances, although only Marlon Brando took home an Academy Award. The Paramount Plus series. The Offer is a must-watch for Godfather fans. The backstory of the making of the film is just as interesting as the film itself. The Godfather Part II continues the story of Michael Corleone's rise as the head of his family's criminal empire, while providing the backstory of Vito Corleone and his early days in America. Arguably a better film than its predecessor, The Godfather Part II won 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Supporting Actor. Jaws not only put Steven Spielberg on Hollywood's Director A-list, it ushered in the era of the modern blockbuster. The trio of Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, and Robert Shaw are pure magic together, and the film's fabled production woes actually worked in its favor. Jaws is the quintessential less is more movie, although Spielberg's genius in building the tension without actually showing the shark is apparent. The least celebrated film of director Martin Scorsese's early career is arguably one of his best. Mean Streets lacks the polish of his later films, but the style and dramatic urgency that defines his films is definitely present. Harvey Keitel excels as Charlie, a low-level hood in New York City's Little Italy, whose personal life is undermining his work. The lives of no less than 24 characters intersect at a political rally in Robert Altman's documentary-style look at Middle America, Nashville. The city's county music scene provides the framework in which all of these individuals are presented, and there is some biting social commentary about the music industry and Southern culture. Altman's style may have been an acquired taste for many, but there was no denying his genius. The king of the blockbusters hasn't suffered a bit from Disney watering down the brand in recent years. George Lucas's tribute to Flash Gordon space operas still holds up as a perfect combination of special effects, snappy dialogue, and lean pacing. 20th Century Fox president Alan Ladd Jr. took a huge risk on a young Lucas to deliver a sci-fi film that could turn a profit, and the rest was cinematic history.